The Sportsblimp is currently above the Squatball Hall of Fame not far from Lucyville, South Dakota. Hello everyone, I'm Will Regan, and with me at the controls of this massive bag of hot air is Hal Overman. How are you, Hal?
Well, I'll tell you, since I've seen a lot operating this blimp over the Black Hills in South Dakota, I'll tell you.
Thank you, Hal. On the ground getting his announcer on is the man who his mother called the Babe Ruth of broadcasting, Eric Rantman.
Well, thank you, Will, and I just have to say, I'm not sure why my mother called me that, actually.
Was it your chunky profile and heavy drinking? Eric climbed down the blimp ladder today and is speaking to us from good old terra firma. Eric?
I'm sitting in front of the Squatball Hall of Fame on a very long stage by myself at the moment. This is Squatball's cathedral, where fans gather to pay homage to the greats of the sport. This pastime that's been dubbed the sport of the bullheaded. This is a sport that requires toughness and tenacity. Squatball, like no other sport, has demanded reckless abandon from both its players and its fans.
We will have special guests later talking about the great game of squatball and what it's meant to them and to the fans.
And speaking of those adoring fans that brave the wintry blasts and searing heat every week to watch the game, they're gathering now under the blimp, chanting and raising their fists in support, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, it's like that college football pregame show with all the kids in the background hooting and hollering and holding up offensive signage. You gotta love that, right? In between being afraid.
This is a big day for fans and players, people from miles around. Just listen to the crowd.
Wow, who let the dogs out, huh?
Well, these fans and their pets are here because a true legend of the game will be inducted today. Kirk Kreskin, finally achieving the fame his older brother got while he was alive. Kirk has had to live in the shadow of the mind-reading Amazing Kreskin. But like his older brother, Kirk was a bit of a mentalist too, a master of the art of skullduggery. He could get into an opponent's head like nobody else.
And he could guess what number they were thinking of.
Right. And if weather permits, his helicopter will fly him in here in just a moment for the ceremony, and we'll have an exclusive interview with him.
Well, we're going to return to that electric atmosphere in just a moment, but first a word from our new sponsor, Tindley's Turkeys in a Bag. At Tindley's, we bag 'em, you zap 'em. Thanksgiving is over, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy a juicy turkey anytime, anywhere. Terrence Tindley, the founder of Tindley's Turkeys, was keen to get turkeys from the farm to your mouth all year round. At Tindley's, we know that turkeys are a difficult bird to cook. That's why Terrence called his brother, Tommy Tindley, an astrophysicist at NASA, to help. Tommy set about developing a patented material to encase the turkey for faster cooking times. Imagine popping a whole turkey in the microwave, and in just minutes having a delicious, juicy bird on your table ready for the whole family. Take a turkey to work and have your coworkers' eyes glaze over with envy as you sit down to a succulent turkey lunch right next to their bologna and white bread. And Tindley's Turkeys in a Bag make great gifts. Nothing says I love you more than a giant nutritious bird wrapped up and ready to go. And for you folks in the Black Hills of North Dakota, come on down to Tindley's Turkey Farm. At the farm, you can hunt turkeys like the Pilgrims did. Put some adventure back into Thanksgiving, rent a musket, and shoot a bird with the kids. So why wait? Grab a turkey in a bag today at your local supermarket or feed store. You know what Theodore Tindley says.
What's that?
He says I'm the only one in the family whose name isn't an alliteration.
And thanks to the Tindley folks for sponsoring our Sportsblimp coverage. And you mentioned Tommy, he worked for NASA. Wow, NASA is responsible for so many great food products when you think about it.
I want to say Tang. Tang, right? And disposable diapers.
And now, turkeys in space.
Happy Thanksgiving, Dave. Now it's time for sports news. We turn first to the world of nose wrestling.
Pac Jackman, the middle-length champion and organic farmer, is in hot water again after spreading a malicious itch cream all over his proboscis. Jackman was fined $10,000 and this year's harvest of organic zucchinis.
On to penguin bowling.
A harsh fine.
With this season coming to an end, everybody wants to know who is in the finals.
Today, in a hotly contested mixed doubles battle between Argentina's Marina and Moreno against Ho Li and Mo Li of China. The match was down to Li trying to pick up a spare. Unfortunately, Li's thumb got caught in the icy ball, and the force of his throw not only hurled the ball across the ice, but Li as well. Li slid past the penguins off the ice floe into the frigid blue water below, and that means the Marina-Moreno duet will go on to play Marie Marie, the identical twin nuns from Greenland.
Penguin bowling, a brutal sport, but not for the penguins,
who always jump out of the way at the last second.
Let's talk couch catching. This year, the Couch Olympics are being held in Nairobi, Kenya. Today, the German couch catching team made headlines when they broke a world record. The Germans caught a 3-piece leather sectional thrown from a 7-story window. There was no winner in the 8th floor competition.
As per couch catch rules, surviving members of the team get to keep the couch. Most couch Olympic athletes are former professional movers.
Many are former couch potatoes as well, with a gold medal to prove it.
Maybe you can hear the sounds of the helicopter behind me. That's Kirk Kreskin coming in for a landing. After he does, we'll have an exclusive interview with the newest Hall of Fame inductee.
Exciting.
Oh, yeah.
First, let's hear a word from one of our loyal sponsors, the Space Mall. Space Mall. Space Mall. Space Mall. Space Mall. All of NASA's consumer innovations are now in one place. The Space Mall is America's favorite space agency's way of giving back. All those great Teflon frying pans, ice cream that never melts, and fish-shaped cakes that taste like real fish-shaped cakes. When NASA isn't flying brave men and women into outer space, they're making really cool things to buy. And attention space fans, this weekend talk to a real astrophysicist, Tommy Tindley. Tindley will be signing his book, The Turkey's Out of the Bag, the tragic story of how his first invention, grouse on a stick, failed and nearly choked him to death. Tindley will talk about his rise and fall and rise again, as well as introduce his new invention. First 30 people will get the book and Tindley's latest gizmo, the No Blow. Not yet seen on TV, a bladeless fan that's safe for children. So come on down to the Space Mall off I-16 past No Man's Gulch in beautiful Grouching, Montana. Blast off for saving! Space Mall. Space Mall.
Well, the helicopter has landed, and the man himself, soon-to-be Squatball Hall of Famer Kirk Kreskin. He has stepped down, followed by four young ladies.
Friends of his?
They're dressed like nurses. They're making their way to our stage right now. He's on the stairs.
Eric, go and let him help him, lend him a hand.
And the ladies helping him mount the stage.
Eric, can you lend him a hand?
Right over here, Mr. Kreskin. Just have a seat, and we'll get a mic on you.
Who's touching me?
I'm sorry about that. Let me just attach this, and then there we go.
What network are you with?
We're the Sportsblimp All Sports Network, the only network covering squatball since 1976.
What do you want me to say? Thank you?
Sir, how has the league changed since you were coming up?
Who's talking now?
Sorry, sir. This is Will Regan up in the Sportsblimp.
Young man, when I was your age, you looked a broadcaster in the eye when you answered a question. I can't even see who I'm talking to, for Pete's sake.
Mr. Kreskin, what does it mean to be inducted into the Squatball Hall of Fame?
Well, it means now they can say Hall of Famer Kirk Kreskin when they introduce me. And I suppose I get a T-shirt.
You were famous for getting inside your opponent's head. As a roaming rusher, you could psych out the squatters.
I would run at them full speed, stop abruptly, and look them in the eye, like I'm doing to you now, but then tell them what they ate for breakfast, or their favorite color, or their mother's maiden name. I would fluster them so much they'd lose their focus, so I could deke them and knock them off their perch.
Well, how did you know what they had for breakfast? Did they have something on their shirt?
That's the magic, my boy. You gotta be born with mental powers far beyond what the average human mind is capable of.
You're a real mentalist.
They had stuff all over their shirts. A cornflake or a piece of egg. It was easy.
Well, the ceremony is about to start now. Is your family here to see your big day?
Nah, none of them are sports fans.
Oh.
They always thought I was a fool for playing this game. They were wowed by my brother's glitzy glamour puss. Who needs them? I've got more mental power between my ears than he has in his entire pinky finger. Wait a minute. Wait, reverse that. You know what? I'm a master at reading people. You look like the kind of person who admires me greatly.
Well, there's nobody like you, Kirk Kreskin.
Forget that. Pick a number and I'll guess it. Go. Did I tell you I have 7 dogs?
Well, okay. I've got one.
Is it 7?
No.
Your eyes sort of lit up when I said I had 7 dogs.
Well, that's a lot of dogs.
I was born in 1939.
Really?
Is it 19?
No.
Is it 39?
No.
Huh. Well, out with it, man. What is it?
It was 16.
What? Of all the... Why did you pick that number?
Mr. Kreskin, you are truly a legend of the game of Squatball, and I hope you enjoy the ceremony tonight.
Sorry, son. I gotta get back to Vegas. That's where I belong. Tell you what, I'd like you to accept that award for me and send it to the Sands, care of Charlie Chan. That's Chan at the Sands. I gotta use an alias, you know, crowds are always pestering me.
Oh, are you sure?
Come on,
Goodbye,
girls.
Mr. Kreskin.
Kirk Kreskin, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Now his lovely assistants are leading him into the helicopter.
So what was it like sitting next to a legend? Did you get a chance to see what he had for breakfast?
You know, some of the sports greats can tend to shy away from the spotlight, but I can't say that's the case for Mr. Kreskin.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen and sports fans. We have a Squatball Hall of Fame inductee who just ducked out. Looks like my comrade in sports will have to do the honors and receive the award for him, absent any friends or family members.
Sorry, folks, you're stuck with me.
Okay, Eric. While he's getting ready, it's time for a word from our newest sponsor, Smiley Harris's Personality Training School. Tired of being left out of the conversation or being the only one not laughing at a joke? Are you often passed up for promotion? Do people look away when you start to speak? Do people unfriend you at high school reunions? Do dogs and other animals instinctively avoid you? Do old ladies draw their curtains when you pass in front of their window? Then get down to Smiley Harris's Personality Training today. Smiley Harris's unique personality exercises are guaranteed to give you the edge at the next meeting or cocktail party. Smiley Harris will offer all-important instruction and show you effective exercises to help hone your social skills. Exercises include yelling at chairs, talking to someone while your face is pressed against their stomach, and playing chess with live mice. Unorthodox? Yes. Effective? Don't take our word for it. Just ask Sheila Long from Justine, Wisconsin. Justine? Well, I'm starting to see some kind of effect. Or Jason Trelby from New York.
I used to hit people before I talked to them. Now I try to say hello first.
Or Roscoe Routner.
I was an Uber driver and noticed that most of my fares would jump out of the car at stop signs way short of our destination. Not anymore.
Okay! So call today or go to www.won'tsomebodyhelpme.com. Your friends will call you a friend in public, and people will finally stop asking you questions at the DMV. Take your life back now. Results may vary. Consult your doctor first if you feel no one likes you. Smiley Harris's School of Personality Training is not a cure for any mental illness experienced before or after the training. Cannot guarantee any results for students from the state of Minnesota. We are back, and let's go inside the Squatball Hall of Fame, where Eric is ready to accept the award for Kirk Kreskin.
Hello, everyone. Unfortunately, our honoree was unable to stay for the induction ceremony today due to pressing business commitments. I was asked to do this like 10 minutes ago, so here goes. When I was a child, I watched Kirk Kreskin help the Cincinnati Short Pants win their first championship. It was a thrilling game. They were playing the Pasadena Pirates in the Morose Bowl, which was played in the parking lot of the Rose Bowl and sponsored by John Morose's Used Lumber Warehouse. I remember that. The league was still in its infancy, but it didn't lack any of the spirit that it has now. In fact, nobody embodied that spirit more than Kirk Kreskin. In that game alone, he showed why he deserves a place in the Hall of Fame. He scored 75 points. He dethroned 6 squatters and escaped 7 tackles by the referee. This, of course, back when referees were allowed to tackle and trip the players. Kirk Kreskin went on to lead the Short Pants to 2 more championships. After that, Kreskin almost became a great coach. He was at the helm of the Hartford Beans for only 1 season. Hey, it wasn't his fault if the stadium blew up, if city planners hadn't leveled the wrong stadium. Who knows? Well, sadly, the shock of that led Kreskin to re-examine his choice of careers and made him take a page from his brother's playbook. In 1989, he announced his first Las Vegas magic show, and so his rivalry with his brother heated up, and he was never the same. Sadly, he has yet to match his brother's popularity. In fact, I just met him for the first time today, and it's true what they say, don't meet your heroes. I mean, he was a great squatball player.
Eric?
So let me just close with this one thought.
Eric?
Kirk Kreskin was amazing. He was a hell of a squatball player. That's what he was. But now, he's really just kind of a jerk.
Okay. All right, Eric, just say thank you and get out of there.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, while Eric makes his hurried climb up the old blimp ladder, I'll just remind you that next week we're going to see the first Swedish nose wrestling championship ever without an actual Swede. So until next time, for Eric Rantman and myself, we wish you more than a sporting chance here at the Sportsblimp All Sports Radio Network.
Sportsblimp is produced and distributed with a grant from the Goodyear Dirigible Company in Bucyrus, Ohio. Many of America's other favorite sports are played in the shadow of the Sportsblimp.